Tough bosses are out. Empathy is the new leadership secret.
I think it's traditionally people are going to think that the way to approach those tough on-off conversations is by being a tough leader. And that's not the way to approach these hard conversations like underperformance or restructuring or providing critical feedback. Leaders need to approach these conversations with heightened intentionality and heightened sensitivity, heightened empathy, and heightened clarity, especially when they're dealing with the hybrid teams that might be working from home or global teams that are spread out around the world. So they need to ensure that communication is personal, that it's culturally sensitive, and that they use technology to gather insights and context and deliver messages in a way that honors an individual's dignity and the emotional realities that an individual is in. And one of the things that we're seeing a lot globally coming out of the pandemic, and I know it's many years now since the pandemic, but we're still seeing a lot of conflict in the world and a lot of uncertainty. People are a little unsure about geopolitical issues. A lot of times they have issues. They're unsure about the economy. You have this term happening in the global workforce called no hire, no fire. So it is true that companies are laying off employees, and one of the big tech companies just announced yesterday that they were laying off, I think, about 16,000 employees. So they're making a strategic decision to cost cut in that particular area. But other than those sort of strategic decisions, a lot of companies are in a no hire, no fire situation, which can be very, very frustrating for candidates who are looking for jobs. And so the way to handle these hard conversations is by asking empathetic questions along the ways. So when you have, let's say, for example, you have a conflict between two employees, and maybe one employee lost their mind and they got angry and they got super emotional, and the second employee was a big victim of the situation. And they're crying and they're in tears and they think they've being bullied. Well, obviously, you would look after the employee that is upset and is the victim of the situation. But you don't go and you don't club the person that lost their mind. You sit down with them and you say, "Are you okay? What's happening? What caused you to act that way?" So increasingly, HR professionals are looking at these conversations as well-being issues.